Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Friday, December 22nd, 2023. We continue moving forward with our birthday and event series. And with that, we have no events today. I really don't anticipate there being any more events the rest of the season or the rest of the calendar year, being that, you got Christmas, New Year's, cold weather, and all sorts of other uh, factors that would not allow for very much racing to be taking place during this time of the season. We do have three birthdays to talk about today, and our first birthday, don't have any cards for, born on this day in 1990, I believe I wrote that down right. 1990, two-time IndyCar champion, this year's Indy 500 winner, Mr. Josef Newgarden. Don't have any cards of him. Did have a couple hero cards that I picked up at the track this past season, but no trading cards. Our next birthday, born on this day in 1954, competed in a history-making Indianapolis 500 in 1995. At least that's the year that this card is. That would be Mr. Hideshi Matsuda. Reason I say history-making, first time two Japanese drivers competed in the race alongside Hiro Matsuda. So there's 24th place finish. There's the joining countryman Hiro Matsuda. So kind of a history-making day on that day in Indianapolis. Our final birthday, we have a few cards here from. He doesn't really have a lot of cards, though he should, because he is a Hall of Famer, legendary driver, father of a former Xfinity Series champion, and that would be born on this day in 1934, sadly passed away in 2018, Mr. David Pearson. And I don't have these cards in any particular order, because what can you say about the Silver Fox, second in all-time wins with 105. So I only had a couple car cards, and they're both of that old Mercury that he ran for the Wood Brothers, this being the 76 Daytona 500 that he won. These other ones, he was an owner for his son, Larry, in the Busch Series, and then in the Cup Series for a couple of years. Drove for Haas Ellington in the early 80s. I'm going to say this is probably, I can't tell if that's a Wood Brothers car or not in the background. Then we have, this is going to be after his days with Wood Brothers and Haas Ellington. My guess is this is early 80s, probably with that number, Joel Halpern Enterprises. That's probably who he was driving for there in the early 80s. This is definitely in the 60s. This is probably 60s as well. He won a few championships then. And then this one, look at that helmet. I mean, yeah, that's going to protect you from a top or a back impact, but your face, you might as well not have anything there. And I picked this one. I don't like to pick insert cards a lot. I always try to keep them with base cards. Reason I picked this one, when I started watching NASCAR in 1983, 1984, David Pearson's career was really, really winding down fast. He was driving really, for the most part, uncompetitive equipment. And this is when I first seen and heard the name David Pearson. It would have been 1983, 84, driving for Bobby Hawkins' team, who had bought I believe that they had bought the assets of the Joel Halpern team, which was pretty competitive at the time. There you see sponsorship from Chattanooga Chew and Carolina Tool. That's how this lets me know this is a Bobby Hawkins car. This could be from 82, most likely 83 or 84. Like I say, that's when David was winding down his career. He did finally make his final start in 1986 at Michigan. That resulted in a top 10 finish. And I believe he was driving for his own team at that point. 1985, he had started off driving for Haas Ellington again. They split mid-season, and he ended up finishing the season with his own equipment. Like I say, 86, 86, his final year. He did attempt to come back in 1989 to drive a race for the Wood Brothers when Neil Bonnet was injured. But his neck and his back injuries from the past wouldn't let him feel comfortable and or competitive. But that has been birthdays and events for this Friday. As always, thanks again for watching, and we will be back in the morning.